wait 30 more seconds.
Now 28.
Y'all looking like fools right now waiting on us.
Back there. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Who did that? That's rude.
Who did what?
Nothing.
Good evening, everybody. For
Good
some
evening.
part
How are
after
you?
How are we all?
Fantastic.
Fan-dabby dozy, as we would say in Scotland.
Dude, I can't even play it cool. This week was such a banger. Like, I'm so excited to talk about it with people.
Oh, I know, right?
I forgot
know.
that's what we were talking about. I was like, wait, why are we on a live stream? I just accepted it.
Good evening to everyone in the chat. Adam, Mark, what's going on? Ari, Honest Jawa. Latest episode made me bite the bullet and buy a Black Series Mandel helmet. Yes! Have a quick task to purchase a Grogu, as you can't have one without the other. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I love people posting stuff on Instagram saying, ready for the episode, and they got like Grogu, Darksaber, and a helmet on.
Yeah, that's all you need.
That's it, man. Louise, I thought you were sleeping, bro.
Bruh.
Talk about being stunned at the end. Yeah, we'll get to that ending at some point. Damn. We will get to that ending.
I have a small theory on that.
Yeah, there's a few theories floating around. But yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Batman, though, having some internet issues. He should be joining us at some point shortly.
I was about to say we're missing someone.
Yeah, he's just having some technical issues, so he should be here shortly. Carter's dumped us, man. We've been completely dumped by Carter.
Carter, shame on you.
Completely dumped, man. Completely dumped. So yeah. But anyway, episode 2, guys. What the fuck can we say?
Well, according to IGN, they gave it a 5.
Yeah, I saw that. All the comments,
fucking shit.
all the comments, all the comments on that too was so funny because I went to it after you shared it, and just everybody was like L.
What happened?
They rated it a 5 out of 10 because it was too dark.
Because it was dark.
Like visually, it was too dark.
I was quite frustrated with that part actually, because I watched it on a treadmill at the gym with the all the windows and everything. I could barely.
Oh
see
yeah, you wouldn't be able to see that. I did have a hard time seeing it from right here, but I mean it's supposed to. Batman, the most recent Batman movie, that one was super dark too.
Yeah,
it wasn't as dark as that Game of Thrones episode.
It wasn't as dark as fucking some of the shit in Kenobi, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Kenobi was pretty dark too.
I sat and watched the first 20 minutes in the car at the fucking parking lot at work. And it was fine. No issues at all. Sat and watched the last 20 minutes in the bathroom at work.
I don't know how you do that.
You're watching these, dude. You're watching these.
I just
episodes?
noticed what Sam changed my name to. Dang it!
Oh, you left it? Wow.
You.
I don't get how you could watch an episode for the first time on your phone. Like, I would never do that.
I wanted to watch it, man. I was not gonna not do it. Like
even trailers, dude. Even trailers. Like, I'm like, oh shit, I need to get home to watch this on a big screen.
I don't mind. Well, I don't mind. I just wanted to watch it. I got home and then watched it on the TV for a second time.
I usually do the same thing. I'll watch it on the phone. If I'm going to work, I'll watch it on the phone and breaks and stuff, and just bits and pieces, and then go home and watch it.
So done the first 20 minutes on the phone in the car, and then the second 20 minutes about an hour later in the bathroom at work hiding.
Yeah.
And then went back out and went, I had a sore stomach. So yeah, that's what I've done.
Dude, doesn't the episode come out at like 6 a.m.?
Yeah.
8 a.m. It's at 8 a.m. right for you?
8 a.m.
8 a.m. it comes out.
8 a.m.
So you're already at work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mostly I'm either at work or on the way to work.
Got it. Okay.
So yeah.
So it's a not wanting to wait thing. Because I was like, damn, that's like disrespectful to watch it on your phone, but
I don't want to wait, man. This is gonna be every week, like every fucking week, bar celebration week. You know, so like next week it's the same. The week after that, the same. You know.
Yeah.
So then the week after that, me and Jesse can chill and watch it in the morning. Yeah. Fucking down.
Fun.
Yeah, next week's it's like supposed to be an hour almost. I think 55
What?
minutes.
How do you know
Yeah,
that?
it's like 56 minutes.
So
Yeah.
I read it on something.
How do you
It's
guys
something
know that
on the-
already?
something on the-
Instagram post.
They post it on Instagram, yeah.
But I haven't heard it from Star Wars. I've just heard it
Yeah,
from a
no,
bunch
it's
of
just
Okay.
it's just a rumor. But still, that'd be nice.
So we're having some lag with pardon me, with StreamYard tonight, guys.
I was gonna say, did a bunch of messages
comments
just
keep
come up?
popping
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Like 5 just came out at the same time. So if we don't get back to comments, and apparently there's no one watching. I know there's at least 5 people watching, so I have no idea. But yeah, so like last week we were saying about Bo-Katan being a massive fucking part of this series, and
Mommy
Katan. She it certainly looks like she's going to be a huge part of this series.
And we all thought she was going to be a villain, and that is still a possibility. But I don't feel the
doesn't
same
seem
as I
that.
did
Yeah,
last
no,
week.
she's had every opportunity to like take
Well,
that Darksaber and jet, and she didn't.
all the trailer stuff, I think there's only like 1 or 2 scenes that we haven't seen yet. Like we've seen everything from the trailers that
Except for
that they wanted us to think.
Yeah,
because there's that scene in the trailer where you see a starfighter chasing a ship,
Yes,
which is
I think
hers.
that's
It's
the
hers.
only-
I think it's
yeah.
hers. I think
Yeah.
Which
So that's-
probably next episode.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, I love that they do that because it gets us excited for the series, but then when we actually see it, it's like, oh, this is all in like the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple things with Dr. Pershing or whatever. I'm guessing that's probably going to be
Yeah,
maybe
okay,
more of a
that's
big
the next
story.
episode.
Everyone chip in.
Wait,
Adam.
what? That's
Adam's
the next
TV's
episode, you
blank.
think?
Yeah, that's the other thing I saw is that they had a shot of him. That shot of him looking up in the sky on maybe
I'm
Coruscant.
ready, dude.
So I think
This-
that's
this-
next episode.
This arc that it's building out, I'm pretty excited for.
Well, we were talking about Bo-Katan, and like last week, we all thought that she was going to be the antagonist, like the evil one.
Yeah.
Even said, I said, I wonder if she teams up with Moff Gideon, like maybe they become like an evil team or something. That all feels stupid now after this week.
Right. Yeah.
It almost feels like when she said, I was born to rule and things like that, I'm like, oh, she's going to be the new Mandalore,
Yeah.
and it will be a whole new thing, riding the whatever when we get to it. But does she rule or does she die tragically? But it brings all the clans back together. Like that's where I think it could go to.
I feel like Din's going to be the one to bring them together because Din's the one that's kind of dipping his legs in both pools, still hanging with the clan, still hanging with Bo and her people.
Yeah.
So I feel like but it's going to be begrudgingly. He's not wanting to do
Yeah,
this.
he doesn't want to be a leader. Yeah.
But everything is pointing to it. I mean, it's the Darksaber came to him. He was down there and saw a mythosaur for the first time in thousands of years. Let's all be honest, he's going to ride a mythosaur. We know he is. And I'm pretty sure Grogu's going to help him because we already saw Grogu's got a connection to animals with the whole, Rancor thing.
Right.
So
You can take a Rancor down.
Yeah, they've been teasing
saw-
all of this shit. But
He did the
I
Longboard,
feel like Din is going to be the one to bring them together, but I still feel like Bo's the one to lead them.
Yeah, it's definitely coming heading in that direction where Din will be that anchor. He'll be the anchor point to bring these two, factions back together again for the greatness of the Mandalore good. I think we can't underestimate this episode, even though we know it was fucking fantastic, right? I loved every second of it. We see Mandalore in live action for like the first time properly. We've had snippets of it here and there. We get a little bit more backstory as well. We get a bit more connection between this and Clone Wars, obviously, because we see Mandalore in Clone Wars like years ago.
Yeah, these same sewers were where Ahsoka and Maul were like chasing each other.
Who are you? I
Oh,
was
wow.
expecting Kenobi.
Yeah.
So there's some fantastic parallels being drawn. And for the people who have watched, Rebels and Clone Wars and all those kind of shows, we're getting a lot of tie-ins. First 2 episodes in, to a lot of this stuff, and it just goes to show how well thought out everything is. Even this early on in 2 episodes into, what is it, 8 or 6?
It's 8.
There's 8.
8.
Yeah.
Was there also references to the weapons used against them that like Sabine may have created? I thought there might have been one.
I thought so too. Yeah.
Or it could just be all the the Easter egg videos I watched on YouTube. But I thought maybe there was a connection in the show there.
Yeah, I don't know if it
Oh,
was,
are you talking about the grappling hook thing?
No, the fact that
the
Sabine
weapon
basically created the weapons that the Empire used against
Oh.
the Mandalorians, not knowing that she did.
Yes,
Um,
something. I remember
They
that.
talked about it in Rebels, but I don't know if it's like just a reference from Rebels or if they've mentioned it in one of these shows. I
That
don't
Beskar helmet, I thought maybe looked like it had been destroyed with a weapon like that, like where it had singed it or something.
know.
Like it
I
was,
felt like that was all the evil, scientist bug, spider droid thing. It was just living down
Speaking of
there.
the spider droid, did anyone think or wish, oh my god, I hope Christopher Lloyd is the voice of the spider thing?
I didn't even
Just-
think about that.
I was so
Looked like
ready
the
for him to
big,
start talking.
Nah, I want him live action.
Yeah. No, I do too. But
Yeah.
for just a split second, I was like, oh my god, what if he's a voice and he's not like live action?
No, he'll be live action. He's got to be live action.
Yeah, I
Cool.
feel like he'll be live action.
I'm ready to see him. I keep forgetting.
So-
It's gonna surprise me as soon as it happens.
So what about how, well Bo-Katan wields the Darksaber? And I know she had it before, but
Yeah.
it
with it.
seems like everybody that we've seen with the Darksaber, because Sabine didn't really have a problem with it.
Well, she got trained.
Yeah. Maul
You know.
definitely didn't have a problem with it.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So why,
I just
I
had an
just don't
epiphany.
understand why Din has such a problem with it. And it just
Okay.
feels like it's because he doesn't want to be this, ruler. But I don't know.
Well, no. What's his name? Paz Vizsla. He really wanted it, and he struggled.
That's true. He
couldn't
wanted it,
even-
and
He couldn't even pick
I
it
think
up.
it's the last thing you just said, Tim. I think it's a metaphor for him going against the natural selection for him to be a leader. It's a metaphor. He can't wield the Darksaber because he doesn't want to be the leader to bring
until
Mandalore
he
back
accepts
together.
that.
When
Then
he does end up bringing the people together, he'll be able to wield it.
I
because
was
he'll be
thinking it was going to
against
be
it.
like when he got back with Grogu and had to protect Grogu, then that was going to be his real purpose. He'd all of a sudden be able to use it again, but he still hasn't. So you may
I
be
think
right.
I think he needs training.
Oh,
So-
from Bo? Yeah, that's what I
No,
said.
I'm thinking Ahsoka
Oh man.
because
Oh,
that would
that's a fair
probably
point.
it would probably link something together. And if Bo's with Mando and if Bo sees Ahsoka, and then maybe that might link to something that
And
happens in
Favreau
Ahsoka.
talking about pulling all of this stuff together.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
making it
Interview.
all one big universe.
I mean, he could go back to Luke to get trained, but I feel like he's got a better connection with Ahsoka. So, and it would make sense, right?
You
Because
could
her
be right,
show's
man.
next.
Yeah.
So I'm just checking here, guys. Apparently, there's a problem with the stream.
Like
Is
we're
it?
not live?
I'm watching it on the
Yeah.
phone right now.
Yeah, it's still saying on YouTube coming up. Notify me. It's not coming up as live, and I don't know if that's part
Might
of the
just be on
issue.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are. Do we have people
Yeah,
in
I'm
the chat?
watching it right now.
It's live.
Yeah, no, I know. It's saying up here 0 watching, but I could jump into the actual stream. It's saying up here 0 watching, and it says 11 watching. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
it gets
just
10
the
watching.
right there.
Weird.
Stupid.
Stupid StreamYard. You're definitely. I know we're definitely live. I'm just wondering if there's an issue at all.
Mark said you're definitely live. Yeah.
This is all a figment of the imagination.
I'm all good here.
Yeah, I want to touch on that actually. We've seen Din, wielding the dark saber a few times now. He does still really struggle to swing that thing around,
Mm-hmm.
And then we look at previous characters in the past, like you mentioned, that have no issues at all. They've had training with it. But two mythical beasts by the Jesus Christ, Jim.
Put it on the screen. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Agreed.
Totally agreed.
Anyways, what were you saying?
I'm sorry, dude.
No, you're all good. Like, I'm trying to gather my thoughts on this one because, like, how is he possibly still having issues with this weapon?
Dude,
Now, is he getting better at it? Because
in Rebels, it's not anybody could just pick it up and use it. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta.
You need a purpose.
Yeah. I don't know, like the whole like Kanan showing Sabine how to use it and stuff. She struggled for like a hot minute.
It wasn't until she realized, like, I need to do this to protect my family and our way or whatever. That's when she found her purpose, and then all of a sudden she was kicking Kanan's ass.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a curveball.
Yeah.
What if Luke teaches him how to use it?
See, I mean, I would be fine with that, but I feel like it would be Ahsoka more because I feel like that would tie more into it.
Yeah,
into the overall.
Luke doesn't want to have too many failures before Ben.
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, yeah, and
Ben
was supposed to be his first student.
Yeah,
technically. Yeah, because Grogu technically really wasn't. He taught
Luke,
like a couple
Luke
things.
did say you are the first student of the temple. Luke said
you
that
would be the first.
He did say would be.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Favreau said that Grogu was there for 2 years training with Luke.
All right, so I've looked it up. So at first, I thought it was like, as in like it's been 2 years since we've seen it in real life. You know what I mean? Like it was 2 years ago since we saw Mando leave, and then a year later we got Book of Boba, and then now we're 6 months or no, a year and a half since Book of Boba, right? God damn, has it been that long?
No, just over a year.
Book of Boba was last December.
Yeah, it's like
well, I mean, it's March now. So a little bit over a year. So technically, it's been roughly 2 years, and then I watched another interview where they asked Jon Favreau again, and then he said he was so like vague with it. He was like, yeah, within 0 to 2 years, that's how long it was there, and it's like, okay, I don't think they fully know. Or they're just not telling us on purpose for some reason yet, or where we're at in the timeline.
They're reserving the right to write in whatever they want.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're probably like 6 or 7 years after Return of the Jedi right now.
Hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Good evening, Matt.
Hi, guys. I'm gonna guess like 6. I don't think he was there for 2 years.
I like the purple floodlight, by the way, dude.
Yeah.
Why would Grogu be there for 2 years and we only saw that one little scene like right before he decided, like he sat there for 2 years before he decided to teach him how to jump,
No, my best guess.
I don't even think it's been a year.
No, I'm with you, Jesse. I think my best
guess few
months. Maybe 6 months, maybe most.
Yeah.
Otherwise
he would probably know a lot more.
Even to be honest,
or maybe we just didn't get the earlier parts.
Well, what do we know about Din's history? So from the point that Luke took Grogu. What do we know that Din's done? Because he was bounty hunting. Him on that Halo ring thing, right?
Yeah, what was he
that's the only thing we saw.
What was he trying to find in Book of Boba?
He was trying to find the
his people.
His people. Okay.
The Mandalorians.
Right.
What are they? The
covert. He was bounty hunting to do that, I guess.
For information on the covert.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
And then somehow they went from.
Why did he go to Tatooine?
They went from 3 people to, you saw how many people were there when they were bringing those families in. So it seems like there has been some time since that.
He went to Star Cruiser because he needed to get another ship, so he went to Peli for a ship.
Yeah, Peli had sent him a message saying, "I've got a ship for you." He came thinking she had a Razor Crest.
A replacement for the Razor Crest. I remember because he was like, "You said replacement for Razor Crest."
Yeah, a replacement for, not a replacement Razor Crest.
Damn, dude, look at us. We're
that
smart.
could take 3 days. I mean, that doesn't take up a year, right?
Yeah. I agree with Sam. I could see it being up to 6 months, but no more than that.
It's like they don't want to add an actual time period because this is exactly what we'd be doing. It's trying to connect everything.
Yeah, and
so they don't want to give us an actual date for that reason.
Yep, which is fine.
But you got to think too, in that time period. So when Luke picked up Grogu, from that period on, Boba Fett basically took over Tatooine, or because he didn't have any of that shit until he left, and then went and basically. So how long does it take to set up a crime empire like that?
Got to figure that's. I think he was with the Tuskens.
Well, that had already passed. The Tusken stuff had already passed because he was on his ship.
You're right.
Helping out
that was literally
the first. Yeah. Okay.
That was like
that was 2 years before Mando.
Yeah. So,
I did like the purposeful mention of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think all she said was Boba. She's like, "Are you here to get Boba?"
Yeah. I feel like
he's going after him.
It'll take a year to set for Boba Fett to do what he did. That took a year at least. So in that time, from the beginning of it to the end of it, Grogu was with Luke the entire time because he didn't show up until that big battle.
Do you think it was a year though? Because
I think it was at least a year because you can't set up a crime syndicate in 6 months. I just don't feel
like when Boba Fett first started though, that's when he was like first on the throne, and that's when people first started to come and then disrespect him.
Yep.
And so you're saying, so you think that
maybe
whole show?
A year, but I feel like it was a year.
It had to be sometime because Luke got enough training in on Grogu, so he's not collapsing and passing out every time he uses the Force.
Yeah. And he can go from barely walking to jumping and flipping, and
he's doing jumps and flips and all kinds of stuff.
I do agree with this comment.
I'm thinking
comment
6 months.
Here.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, maybe a year to 6 months to a year,
I'm
maybe.
Thinking 6.
But I can't even, maybe we'll never get an actual answer to it.
Maybe by the end of everything.
How much time do you feel has passed since first episode of Mando to now?
Oh,
well, from 1 to 2, I don't know.
I mean, I feel like we're 3 to 5
I feel like
years.
there's a bigger gap between 1 to 2 than 2 to 3.
Yeah.
Because
I can't picture
Grogu being with Luke for that long.
Was it Navarro? Is that where Grief Karga is? Mm-hmm. In the first season, it was
that place
scumhole. Troopers walking around.
Some things make
season
sense.
A little better. Third season, it's a legitimate city.
Yeah, it's definitely been at least a year between 2 and 3 because of just the buildup of Navarre.
I wish somebody would give us that timeline. I'd like to kind of know that timeline.
I think
that makes sense. But then when you look at Grogu training with Luke, I mean, like he could jump.
Luke did that on Dagobah. That took about 6 months.
Do we know how long Luke was on Dagobah?
I don't think that's ever been completely answered.
They vary between a few weeks and a few months. They've never given a definitive answer.
That's what I'm thinking for Grogu and Luke, dude.
Yeah, same kind of thing.
That makes sense to me. Because why would he let Grogu live there for 1 to 2 years, and then at the very end decide, hey, do you want to train?
And they really could have.
I feel like they would have started right away.
They could have really easily shown this by showing the temple that those little spider droids were building.
Yeah.
Show it being built, and then show it way built. And then you really establish the fact that, okay, he's been here for a while. But I think they may have left it ambiguous just to be able to write shit in later.
Yep.
According to Google.
Hey, Google.
Wrong.
They know.
Let's see. Timeline of Mandalorian Season 1 takes place 9 years after the Battle of Yavin, right?
Okay, yes. Yeah.
But then season 3 is roughly 8 years after the return, so it's 11 years BBY. So that should be a 2-year difference between 1 and 2.
That makes sense.
And 1 and 3, excuse me. 1 and 3, excuse me. 1 and 3.
So okay, all within 2 years.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that would play into the theory that Grogu was with Luke for a couple months.
Yep.
Yeah, so the whole
Give or
2-year
take.
idea wasn't there. I think he meant 2 years of this
In
story.
real
Of
time.
yes,
Over the
which
whole
that
Because-
makes a
'cause
lot of sense.
Somebody asked him about it later. They were like, "Yo, you're blowing up the internet by saying he was with them for years," and he said,
Yeah.
"No." He said within literally 0 to 2 years. So it's like, okay,
So the honest Jawa, that comment right there, I absolutely feel like Grogu will speak this season. And I
no.
think
Well,
he'll-
okay,
oh,
he might.
yeah.
You know what?
This
You're
season.
right. He might
And I
say
feel
like,
like he's going to say this is the way, or his version of this is the way.
I don't think so.
I do.
I think it's going to be Chris Pratt's voice.
Dude,
Is he going to be
I
doing
mean,
the Mario voice?
He definitely can't do a sentence.
It's
No,
me.
it's-
How long does it take?
It'll be a baby talk kind of thing, but
Christopher Lloyd.
Oh, I would accept that.
Grogu's first
Yeah,
Yeah,
one.
he's 50 years old, but
Great
he
Scott.
ages at what, like a tenth of humans or something like that. Like
Something like that.
Yoda died at 900, so realistically, say in human years, 90. If Grogu's 50 years old, what does that make him? 5 months?
Let's go with 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months old.
No, it's
You
a
better
tenth.
talk.
A tenth of 50 is 5.
If he was 5, then he'd be
50 years old.
Dude, do you
Yeah, he'd
think
be 5.
the reason we
Oh.
got Yaddle and Tales of the Jedi is to make a connection for this show?
no. Yeah, you're right.
I still
Sorry,
think that's his
what?
mom.
I think it was just to confuse shit again by having her speak normally.
Of
You know.
all the characters to pick in Tales of the Jedi, they picked Yaddle. Right?
Well, it was good because she was in episode 1, but wasn't in episode 2, so that kind of
Yeah.
explained why she's not.
Why
there
she wasn't
anymore.
in 2. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
And they always said that she went missing after Phantom Menace, and that's why you never saw her again.
true.
She's the only other of Yoda's species that we've seen. I don't know why we wouldn't feel like there was some type of connection there, but
That's
can see it.
Grogu's mom.
perhaps she's the one
That's
who
mommy.
rescues, perhaps. Could she be the
Well, no.
one?
No,
No.
she'd been dead by then.
She'd been
So if
waiting,
Mando's
but,
daddy, that makes Yaddle mommy.
No,
Something like that.
Bo-Katan's mommy now.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
definitely
she's the
mommy.
new mommy.
Where'd Sam go?
I don't know.
All right,
stream
Sam's
now.
gone. Let's talk shit.
It's our stream. Let's get it taken down. What's the worst thing you guys can say? Go.
I can pull
Wow,
up-
I unmuted myself for a
Ask
second.
Other people say it.
Hey, guys! I promise not to close this one down.
Oh yeah, that's right. How did you
Yeah.
do that? Would you go? Oh, you clicked.
Well, Elvis had me
admin
on a
right
StreamYard, so
Yeah.
when it said leave studio, normally it said end stream,
yeah.
and I didn't realize.
Instead of just going back.
Yeah, you can just close the window.
Yeah, I just closed the windows. I never click leave studio.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
I'll have to start doing that from now on.
That's pretty funny because we're all like,
Bye.
it's all good. We got it back up and running. All right, so I'm just taking over because Sam's gone. Jesse, favorite part of the episode?
Oh. Don't ask me that.
My favorite part was Yoda. Did I just say Yoda? Holy crap!
did say-
Baby Yoda, same thing, right?
Grogu having to get on the ship and then point to the planet he wanted
Yeah.
to go to and
Yep,
go into
yep.
Bo-Katan. Like my heart was like racing. I'm like, come on, Grogu, you can do it.
His little
He was
run,
going on his own little
Getting
adventure.
out of the cave, yeah, that was the best.
him running back or up to Mando, where it like his like, yeah, he was doing like the cartoon thing where his feet go forward and his body's back. That was funny.
Yeah, I think I loved the quirkiness of that whole spider robot villain, but for me,
That
the
one was
favorite
so good.
scene was when Bo-Katan and Grogu are walking down the corridor. She looks up and sees that ceiling that she realizes is a trap, and she just kind of nonchalantly taps his little carrier backwards. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, it's about to be on. She pulls the guns out and just starts blazing. I just thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah, back to what I was gonna say. Yeah, Bo-Katan's my favorite
She can kick
from the
ass.
episode. She kicked ass.
Watching her with the Darksaber was pretty awesome too. Just
Yep.
to see the Darksaber be used well.
Yeah.
Well,
Dude,
yeah.
she literally said, like, in her mind, like, Dan, this is how you do it. This is how you use it, bro.
All right, I gotta go. I'll be back in a little bit.
See, dude.
See you,
Hey,
sir.
Jesse.
Hey, dude.
So I kind of enjoyed how Bo-Katan was talking to Grogu, kind of just like, "Hey, little buddy, it's kind of cool how you can use the Force. You must be pretty strong, right?" Just kind of like talking to him like he's a little kid, like encouraging him. I thought that was kind of sweet.
And then she
And the
ended it
whole,
with,
I used to fight with Jedi.
Yeah.
That was just, come on.
I don't know what they've been telling you, but Jedi and
Yeah, we used to be cool.
Mandalorians used to get along.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Apparently, what?
Apparently.
No, you said Jedi and Mandalorian used to get along. I'm
Used to
still
get along,
tired.
yeah.
Great time to jump in, dude.
Jumps right back in.
I know, right?
Profession, true profession.
We were talking about our favorite part of the episode. What's your Sam?
Other than the mythosaur, of course. That's
There was a mythosaur?
when
Post credit scene. Go watch it again.
my favorite part, I think, to be honest, when Grogu goes back to Bo-Katan, and she's like, "No, let's get rid of him once and for all." There he is. And then all of a sudden, her tune completely changes. Like, where is he?
Where
it's
is
time
he?
to help.
You know, which I think completely changes the narrative from her end for the whole series.
Yeah.
Because she now goes, actually, shit, I quite care about this person.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I think that was probably for me the most kind of prominent moment. And then there was the small matter of the fucking mythosaur. I mean, come on. You know, like, mytho what? What the fuck's that?
How big do you think it's going to be?
Oh, it looks huge.
Oh,
Yeah, like
massive,
it's going to
man.
be crate dragon sized.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's definitely a two-hand job.
Oh.
Both hands and both feet.
Both hands and both feet, bro.
So then
Yeah.
I heard a theory that, this is the last mythosaur. This thing was in hibernation and then it got woken up from the bombing on the Night of Thousand Tears. Basically,
Interesting.
they shook the entire planet, woke this thing up, and he's been kind of hanging out ever since.
Well,
That's going to come back and write it.
the weird thing about it, though, is so Mando goes in the water saying what he needs to say in order for him to, clean himself so he can, be a Mandalorian again. And he
didn't
gets
finish
pulled.
it, did he?
No,
Yeah, he was
didn't.
retaking the oath, and
Yeah,
he didn't.
but he got pulled into the water. We don't know what pulled him in the water because when Bo-Katan was coming back up with him, it looks like the mythosaur was just waking up. So what pulled him? Because literally his eyes were like trying to wake up. And so I had a theory remember the idea with the Rancor was when Rancor first sees you for the first time, it sees you as its
Bonds
parent.
to you.
Or
It
bonds
imprints on you?
Yeah, that's the word, imprint. So Mando didn't lock eyes with him. Bo-Katan did. So what if that same idea of imprinting is somewhat similar to that? Because this is the first person or Mandalorian that the mythosaur sees since the day everything went to shit.
I'll be honest, I don't think anything pulled them down. I think he just hit the ledge and just fucking...
He said,
He
"Cannonball!"
was traveling
Yeah,
for
yeah.
like a mile to get to him.
But you think about how heavy that Beskar must be.
But she was flying down with full
Yeah,
jets
she was
after him,
propelled.
But then he was
couldn't
also
just
like,
be
he was like passed out underwater. It's like she had to actually grab him and lift him up.
You can't be trusted. You watched it on your phone. It was this big.
That too.
It was still a mythosaur.
No, but seriously though, I don't think the mythosaur pulled him down. Like, you seen the mythosaur opening his eye.
Yeah, I don't think it's the
Or
mythosaur.
It could have been something else, or it could have just been a case of he hit the fucking ledge and then literally went down like a fucking lead balloon because he was wearing all that fucking Beskar. He took off his jetpack, so he couldn't save himself at that fucking
Yeah,
point.
he didn't have a jetpack. That's true.
Or he did what they did in the Sandlot, where he jumped in the water because he knew Bo-Katan was going to grab him so she can like give him CPR.
Maybe. It was a total ruse, man.
You used Sandlot to explain that.
Darth Vader was in Sandlot.
Because that's what they did in Sandlot. Was he jumped in
Darth
because
Vader
he knew
was in
Lifeguard was in
Sandlot.
Sandlot?
Come on,
Yep, he was.
Hi, Rachel.
Dude, hold that Grogu up again.
Oh, that.
Yeah, Adrian's got a really fucking good point there. Actually, he had a theory that it woke up when it sensed the true ruler of Mandalore being Bo-Katan.
I thought you were about to say it's Grogu. I was like, where are you going with this, Sam?
Could you imagine?
Yeah, little Grogu riding Mythosaur, waving around the Darksaber.
That'd be fucking
I
great.
want to see that. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
He's tapping on the head like this. Hey.
He's got a little helmet with holes in it for his ears.
Yo, could you imagine actually?
Yo.
How's it going?
What's going on, dude?
John, you should get on.
I know.
Yeah, John,
I
hit
miss
me
that
up. Hit me up if you're free, man. If you're free right now, hit me up. I'll send you a link.
But no, that's another thing I can think of is what are the odds that the Mythosaur opens his eyes as Bo-Katan's coming up, and they both essentially lock eyes, even though she's wearing a helmet.
See, I just thought it was important for Bo-Katan to realize.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Was it's so weird how in shows and movies how someone is covering their face, and it's like you can still see the emotion on their body. The way they react is so good.
Yeah.
You know,
Like
it's
how she gasps, but air goes out.
Yeah, yeah, and it's weird because they did that so well. It's like she's wearing a helmet, you can't see her face, you can barely see her body language because she's holding Din, but you can still see the shock. Mm-hmm. It's like you can see the shock in her face when you really can't. It's the strangest
That just
thing.
made me think of another really cool moment, and I'm going to change my cool moment. My cool moment was when Din sealed his fucking helmet and like basically so he could like cruise around in space, man. That thing was like breathing, and that was just
Space Cowboy.
Yeah, which we see Mandalores do in Rebels.
Yep, but you haven't seen it in live action, and now we have. I think that's cool.
That was pretty cool.
I just hate that
I kind of hope
ever checked the planet to see if they can.
Yeah, that seems a little silly.
Yeah.
It's kind of,
except for some random explorer who decided to go for shits and giggles, I guess.
What I mean, with as expensive as Beskar is, are the mines completely empty? Why wouldn't somebody go down there looking for it?
Good point. Like someone would have figured out a way to be capitalistic on this. Like
yes, absolutely.
Unless the Empire was spreading propaganda after they bombed the hell out of it.
Yeah, that it's and you'd have to go through that nasty ass storm, you know, and everybody thought it was radioactive. But yeah, it seems like people would have been there.
There's never been a mention of like a radioactivity or some type of virus due to proximity or anything like that in Star Wars. Has there?
No.
Nothing.
Not up until Bo-Katan said
the
something.
Virus from the blue goofy guy in season 1, Dr. Blue something. I don't remember his name, but he created that virus that was going to kill everything. You don't remember that?
Yeah.
How come I don't remember that?
Oh yeah, it was on Naboo, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on Naboo, and Jar Jar and Jar Jar's girlfriend are the one that stumbled onto it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm like tripping over here.
But other than that,
and like one droid escaped with a vial of it or something. Yeah, I remember that.
That's a good question. Do you think they will eventually restore Mandalore?
Absolutely.
I don't think so.
Maybe not the planet, but the people, absolutely. I think they're going to come together.
I think that, but also, and this is only the reason why I'm bringing it up, and obviously the story wasn't written prior to the release of this, but if they were to restore Mandalore, where were they during episode 7, 8, 9?
Yeah, why weren't they?
You know what I mean? Something must have happened where they're going to write a story to reason why they weren't there.
They're still rebuilding.
Or they,
maybe
they don't get involved. You know, maybe
they just didn't want to get involved. Yeah.
Yeah, you saw what happened when they went up against the Empire.
Yeah,
dude, that's a good point. So this ends in tragedy, no matter what.
That's kind of how I see it.
Oh,
in a weird way, that's kind of how I see it.
Yeah. Hopefully, they don't go back to pacifists like they were in the Clone Wars.
Oh, that's not a bad theory, though. Like maybe they did restore their community, only they went back to the.
No, they're building one big, Mando verse here with all these shows. So we know Thrawn is coming back. He's coming back from the outer realms, the unexplored realms. He brings a fucking army with him, and that army goes up against the Mandalorians, wipes the Mandalorians out, but the Mandalorians kind of save the rest of the universe. This is big picture, long story, but I feel like Thrawn's going to come back with a fucking army.
I feel like we know that season 4 has been written. It's been finished. It's due to go into principal photography in October of this year, apparently.
And didn't they say it does not end with 4?
No,
there's no ending. As of now, there's no ending.
Season 5 is also written.
How do we know season 5's already written?
Because there's going to be a writer's strike. So they basically kickstarted the next 2 seasons, so they'd already have those written and ready to go.
Yeah.
If there's going to be a writer's strike.
Favreau went out on record saying that season 4 and 5 are both written already. And 3, 4, and 5 basically all amalgamate into one. Like they run into each other concurrently, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the outcome of the series, but not like each show. There's no way.
Yeah, everything's already written. Everything's written, the full thing.
You think we'll get a Mando 3.5 in Ahsoka?
I think
he'll show up. Yeah,
I hope not.
I want Ahsoka to have her own show, something dedicated, exactly what we all wanted ever since Rebels. I
think Mando showed up in Boba Fett because, and hear me out on this, even though Boba Fett is one of those legacy characters, he's much loved, there's a story to tell, that series needed a little bit of support, dare I say it. And I think they kind of shot themselves in the foot there because of the way the whole plot line was. It wasn't the best plot. It was an enjoyable show, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like the best plot. It wasn't exactly, thick,
Yeah.
Ahsoka doesn't need any support. It doesn't need any backup. It doesn't need anything because it is basically going straight off of the back of Rebels, which in my opinion is the most successful Star Wars show. Like, it seems to be the one that is most fucking loved by pretty much everyone, right? I hope Mando is not in Ahsoka. He doesn't need to be in the Ahsoka show. If he is, it'll be purely because of the Sabine Wren connection, who I believe we will see in this season.
I really hope we do.
Yeah.
The one thing about like Ahsoka that I want it to be really good, I want him to start guns blazing because the foundation has already been built with Rebels. You know what I mean? The foundation's already there, right? And then we already have the building of the Mandoverse. We've included Ahsoka in there, right? So that it's already building up to something, right? So you can't start this new show like really slow. It has to start going.
The space whales were there. They're bridging it all, and they're bringing it all together.
There's no reason for
if a Rebels character did not show up in Mando this season. I feel like one of the Rebels characters will show up.
And Sabine makes the most sense.
Sabine, Hera, any of them. Sabine makes complete sense.
There's been a rumor floating around that in future series of Mando, we could run into the First Order and we could see Adam Driver back as Kylo Ren. Pre-episode 7.
But would he want to? Because he's saying that he doesn't want to do it.
Well, that's the other thing.
Unless you get a young actor to play as him at a really, really young age.
I mean, you just put a helmet on, right?
Kylo's only like 7 or 8 at this point?
Something like
that. At this point, yeah. But we're talking like season fucking God knows when. Because we're like, the more we go, right, the more seasons that we get of Mandalorian, the fucking more we are getting towards that time period.
Yes.
It's 30 years after Jedi or 29 years after Jedi. We're already like, what, 7?
Yeah.
7 years after, right? So if they do a time jump, or if it's just one of those ones where you go season 4 or 5, I mean, it's rumored to be like a 10-season fucking show.
Sick.
That's the rumor. Is 10 seasons. You know,
I'm down for that.
With the whole cloning stuff that they're touching on with Dr. Pershing or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
it's a setup for Snoke and the Emperor. So I'd be surprised if they didn't, take it that far to at least where we see the beginnings of it.
Well, how long before Episode 7 had Kylo Ren been Kylo Ren?
I don't know. I know there's books that kind of go into it, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't either.
So a few years, so even if they take us
I
up
feel
to
like 5 years at least.
Well, that's the thing. Even if they take you up to like 5 years before Force Awakens, which is only another 16 years?
Mm-hmm.
16 years and another fucking 6 potential seasons isn't a long time. But it depends on the narrative, depends on what's going on and how they can pull it off. Personally, I don't want to see it. I do not want them going that close to 7.
I don't see that happening. I think they would take the show either 10 seasons or more. Why?
But when
the show is making them money right now.
Don't we need to see Grogu grown up?
I mean, there's not really much to grow up if he's already that small. You know what I mean?
He's got another foot to grow.
Yeah, well, a foot, yeah. But it's just
there
like
could be time jumps.
Yeah, but I don't see them getting too close to episode 7 just because they're making so much money from the show right now that the longer you keep this show going, as long as you have a good story to back it up, eventually, I think it will 100% lead to episode 7. It has to, because I feel like every season we've got a little piece or a little hint that's leading up to episode 7 with Snoke and the cloners from season 1. As season 2 was when they found those tanks that were in there in that little mining area. Mm-hmm. So season 3, we're gonna get another thing that's gonna has to lead up to episode 7. But I don't see them getting so close to episode 7 anytime soon because it's making them way too much money.
I think Mark makes a very good point here as well. The series could definitely bridge a lot of Star Wars, be a bridge rather to a lot of Star Wars universe.
They're tying in the Bad Batch to this season too.
Yeah, they've already tied in a lot. If you think about season 1 to now, including the likes of Book of Boba, what they've tied in, what they've reached out to and pulled through and what they've bridged into, it's a lot. I mean, no one expected Luke. No one actually really expected, let's be honest, did anyone really expect Boba Fett? Truthfully.
I didn't expect Ahsoka, and everyone rumored Ahsoka was going to be in it.
I only thought about Boba Fett because when we returned to Tatooine in season 1, I was like, this takes place after Return of the Jedi on Tatooine. That's a good call.
I was hopeful because there was never any canon confirmation that he was dead
until that episode when we heard his spurs, the sound. I was like, oh, okay, Boba.
Well, there was the Aftermath books where Cobb Vanth actually gets Fett's armor. But it's just the armor. He's not with it. So it was still left ambiguous about where he actually was.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to see where Book of Boba and where the Mandalorian season 2 falls in with those books as well. Because those books are a great lead up towards episode 7. So I don't know. I just hope they don't go too far towards 7. I would rather they stay away from that. Obviously, they're tying in Bad Batch, which, by the way, I thought this week's episode of Bad Batch was probably one of the best ones.
Haven't watched it yet.
Oh, yeah. It was amazing.
Was it?
It was fucking
I haven't watched it yet.
Man. Yeah,
it's another Crosshair episode. That's all I'm going
to say. Dude, Crosshair is low-key becoming one of my favorite, actually, my favorite character in that show.
These Crosshair episodes have no business being so damn good.
Your opinion of Crosshair
changes, dude. Because what was that? Was it episode 5 or 7 of the season? You can see how conflicted he was with everything going on. I was like, oh,
that was like episode 3.
Was it 3? I can't remember. Yeah, it was so good. And Crosshair, like low-key, I want a Crosshair hot toy and a wrecker.
I need to get the Black Series figure.
I want a fucking Crosshair helmet. That's what I want.
Elvis.
I have the file.
No, you don't.
There's your guy right there.
Because low key, like, I'm telling you,
Crosshair from the original Bad Batch and Crosshair Imperial.
dude, Crosshair has become my favorite character in the show, especially this season.
With like the green visor and stuff. The helmet.
Oh, it's so good.
Well, we're gonna need to wait until after Celebration because I need
I'd
to
much
actually
rather
start
make a
paying
Crosshair
you
than a
for
Rex.
shit.
I have room. I have room over here for another helmet. I can make
If you tell me I don't have to make you a Rex anymore, I'll make you a Crosshair.
Yes, 100%. You're good with
Okay.
that.
I mean, if you have the file, I'll take a Rex.
I was just saying, man, like after Celebration's done with and I've financially recovered from everything, I'm actually going to full on commission you for a Crosshair. Full on commission.
All right.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I full on am fucking, and you're not this time, Elvis.
My commission list is closed.
I don't give a fuck. It's getting done. And this time, you're not just going to fucking do it and go, oh, by the way, look what I've done for you. No. I'm fucking commissioning this. You will fucking start it when you A, have time, and B, have my fucking money. That is a helmet, right? There's a company, what's her name? Cybercraft, right? They look like they do good shit, but everyone is like, don't go to that company. They are unethical, and I have no idea what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, I haven't heard the greatest things. That's some Savali art or something. I forget. There's another one on Instagram that I really do like as well. And
I love that.
About 300-ish, same pricing, but they look really nice.
Which is, yeah, look at Matt Scott.
In fact, they're supposed to open this weekend.
Crochet fucking, that's so good, man.
My friend's daughter made this for me.
That's fucking awesome.
Dude, I already started buying stuff for Celebration too.
Samoleov art. Heard of it?
Yes, actually, I have. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I got from it as well. Yeah.
I'm thinking it's between 1 and 3. 1 and 3 has been 2 years.
I think he kind of got caught paraphrasing a little bit and misinterpreted.
Yeah.
Between,
because even when I heard that, I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. But then when you add the time period, I think it's just seasons 1 through 3.
Yeah,
and it also wouldn't make sense that it was 2 years because he's just been hopping on cargo ships and passenger liners for 2 years doing bounties.
Well, another thing too, actually, it's randomly popped in my head. And Matt, you saw me talk about this in another stream with somebody. If they were going to rebuild IG-11, how is he supposed to fit in the Starfighter?
They're just going to stick his head in the droid part.
Yeah. I thought about that the other day. I was like,
I liked that really quick little fucking retcon kind of thing that happened there with the droid port.
Which one?
Yeah, where all of a sudden his Grogu's little area turned into a droid port.
Yeah. I see this.
It's like, well, the marketing's finished for that part, so we'll just take that away now.
Ooh. That's a lot of helmets.
That is a lot of helmets.
I was kind of disappointed that R5 was a big pussy, though.
He's got a bad motivator, all right?
He's had a bad motivator for years.
I mean, they couldn't even get him to go test the air.
I mean, they shined him up real nice, though.
Yeah.
Can we just talk for a second, though, about how fucking badass Bo-Katan was with that Darksaber?
We did talk about it. You were gone.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Yeah, you missed it.
Man. But, like, seriously,
she was great.
right?
She was seriously great with it.
Like, I'm not going to lie, man. I had some fucking motion in the ocean. Like, honest to God, like, that fucking whole scene with her, honest to God, man, just fucking flinging that thing around and just, honest to God, I was like,
please grab the Darksaber.
Are we still talking about Darksabers of flinging things around?
Man.
Oh, got it.
I think that's actually the first time we've ever seen her use it, too, because I think in Rebels she just holds it up, and that was it.
Yeah.
Did she ever pick it up in Clone Wars? I don't think she did.
No. I think Maul had it most of the time.
I think Maul did have it most of the time. Yeah, you're not wrong. Nursing a semi. Well, and then Adrian, of course, is going, I'm not eating that scene.
I heard a theory that I thought was really funny the other day. Not really a theory, but just a thought that if you have to win the Darksaber in battle, then
She
technically
did.
Obi-Wan owns the Darksaber still, because no one's won it in battle since Obi-Wan. It was found by Sabine, given to Bo-Katan, which makes Moff's
That is fucking true.
whatever, and then so when it ended up with Din, that it was already negated by the 4 people before that. So Obi-Wan is the ruler of Mandalore.
So we never saw what he did, like why Maul left it in that wherever he left it where Sabine found it. We never saw that, right?
That was with the Night Sisters. She found it on what's the planet Darth Maul's from?
Dothamir or
Dathomir, yeah.
Dathomir.
Isn't that where she found it? Because Grievous went and like killed all the Night Sisters. Isn't that where the Darksaber was left? Was like on the ground there or something?
Yeah, Ezra found it,
Okay.
but we never actually saw how it got there.
Yeah, so was he defeated somehow, or did he just give it up?
I don't know.
I have a theory that Din and Bo-Katan are gonna together.
I think.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. She looks like she has a hot for him.
Some Beskar.
He looks like he was kind of flirting with her a little bit too. Like,
Yeah.
I wish I could have met your daddy.
Yeah, but then she was also like very into him. I'm telling you, dude. Something about wearing your helmet and you can't even see your face, but you can still feel your expressions. Like they're nailing that. And in this one season, they're doing the whole Bane thing from Batman, where you can just see the eyes, you can see the emotion. Yeah. You can't even see her face, but you can see the emotion that she's projecting through the screen, and that's what I'm getting from her in this season so far.
There was an interview.
She said that her dad died defending his people, and then Din just stops, looks at her, and says, "This is the way." But the way that he said, "This is the way,"
But, and here's my other theory too: is he is with the Watch, right? They keep their helmets on. She's not. So what if the fact that they end up being together in this season is what brings all the Mandalorians together?
Two sides together.
Yeah.
Then Pedro can finally start taking his helmet off.
Yeah, I just
then it would socially be okay in that sense. Yeah.
You guys
so that's the question: which side do you like him with better? The cultish, armor and his people?
No, I don't like the armor.
I don't either. I did at the beginning. I did. And I don't anymore. They kind of indoctrinated. They brought us in as a part of the cult, and then opened our eyes and showed us that the rest of the world is not like that. And I think we all are starting to kind of open up and want a bigger, more.
I think he's starting to open up and saying, "Hey, maybe this isn't all that great, too."
I hope he is.
It's like they both had doubts this episode.
I kind of want them to get together and start their own new clan.
Well, and that's the thing. The original Mandalore is the one that set the rule for everything. So if she's the new Mandalore, ruler of the Mythosaur, she would be like, here's our people's rules.
But like Chris just said, I think both are kind of coming, because she was firmly, it's all just make believe, and we're not, none of that shit's real. Yet when she saw that Mythosaur, I feel like she's kind of starting to believe some of the legends and some of the stuff that she felt was just show and pageantry.
There was an interview with Pedro where because you know how he says daddy, and he's got the famous memes with the daddy thing. If someone said, "So are you really daddy?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm daddy." And I said, "So who's mommy?" And he's like, "Well, Katie Sackhoff." And I was like, Oh, really? Okay. So, I mean, that's kind of a slip right there. I mean,
Oreo's just kind of saying like she has the mommy vibe, even though she's not really mommy.
Maybe.
But I want her to be mommy.
Yeah, I took it as Bo-Katan and him hooking up, but I don't know.
Yes, Ahsoka did beat Maul.
But he didn't have the Darksaber then either.
Yeah. And he didn't have a Darksaber when Obi-Wan beat him either,
Maul escaped, so Ahsoka didn't beat him. Remember?
Here's a quick question.
Obi-Wan's the one that killed him, so he would have been the... Anyway.
Here's a quick question, right? In the trailer, we've seen flashbacks to Order 66.
Yes.
Those are obviously Grogu's flashbacks. Here's the fucking question. What triggers them? And
Something
when?
always happens to Grogu to something that triggers him every time he has a flashback. So what's going to happen that cause him to be that way again?
Are they going to go
hit
to
He's
that.
had
Coruscant
two
at some point?
flashbacks, right?
Hmm?
He's had 2 flashbacks now?
No, he's had the one
Just the one.
with Luke.
Oh, it's the opening of Obi-Wan. That was just like
Yeah,
it. That's
the
what
opening
I'm
of
doing.
Obi-Wan showed the other.
Yeah.
So when do we get that? Why do we get it? And what triggers it?
I think the ultimate why we get it is to explain who saved him from Order 66. I think that's ultimately what it is, but I have no idea kind of what the circumstances are.
Episode 7.
That does it. Is that who directed?
Either 5 or 7. Whatever Dave Filoni's on, I can't remember if it's 5 or 7. It's when he's gonna have the flashback because you're gonna have Ahsoka there.
Oh yeah,
Because he's gonna be in it.
Ahsoka touching out with the Force and communicating.
Yes, yeah, that's when it's gonna cut because that's the only thing I can think of is the only connection to Order 66 that we have besides Grogu is going to be Ahsoka.
So it could have been just interacting with a Jedi is what triggered it before.
Possibly, or communicating together and you're meditating. Oh, yeah.
Here's a question.
Hmm.
What if it's not Ahsoka?
What if
Mace Windu with one hand?
Mace Windu.
No, I'm not
One-handed
thinking that
Windu.
far-fetched. But like, what if it actually though isn't Ahsoka? What if it is? Because there was rumors before even season 3 aired that there was this mystery Jedi. Like,
What if what's not
rumor.
Ahsoka? What are you talking about?
What if Ahsoka isn't the reason for the flashback for Grogu to have the flashback?
So you think they're going to have another
So a different
post
trigger?
Order 66 present day Jedi?
Or
I would
unless
What if it's
Unless-
Rex?
what if
What
it
if
is
That's
Rex?
another connection. That is another connection.
What
actually.
if it is Rex? Yeah.
What if what's Rex? I'm so confused.
He sees Rex,
that
recognizes
triggers
him as a clone, and then that triggers the flashback.
I don't think he'd recognize him as a
Rex
clone
wasn't
because he has a
on
beard.
planet during
He's-
Order
he's-
66.
No, but he
No,
was
but
there
he's
during the
saying
events of.
present day.
yeah.
He sees a present day Rex. That's what triggers the flashback.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out what it is that triggers in present day.
I mean, Rex was
Flashback.
always in battle. He was in the temple a couple of times. I can't.
No, just the fact that Rex is a clone.
Yeah, the fact that he looks like, and you could sense that he is a clone.
Yeah.
Because he'll be bald with a white beard if he were to show up. Tim, do you think Mando's going to get an armor upgrade?
They've changed it every season.
That's the only reason why I feel like he might.
This is the first time we saw the back plate completely exposed. And it's interesting that the bandolier goes under the back plate because everybody, the CRL up to this point, had the bandolier, the leather strap going over the back plate. So it was the first time we saw that. First time he took the cape off. That was.
I even noticed that because his cape was off to the side, and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting. The strap is underneath."
Yeah. So that's new and that's kind of cool. I think they will. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be the armorer making something for him, or is Grogu going to get an armor upgrade?
Is he still wearing the shirt
Yeah, he's still got the
underneath?
chainmail. Yeah, he's still got the Beskar chainmail. So the only piece that he could upgrade is that thigh piece that's made from the that droid that they did the prison break with. That's the only non-Beskar piece that he's got.
And that's Durasteel, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Does he still have the shore trooper on the top of his hand still? Or has that been changed to Beskar?
He's got a shore trooper greave. Actually, yeah, the greave could change, or the leather. But yeah, the right hand one is a shore trooper. The right leg is a shore trooper greave.
Or he could just get a new flight suit.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah.
Something more
It's
leather,
like gray
more
and brown, right?
yeah.
They've changed it every season. I don't know why they wouldn't, but
Like this season seems like it's more gray than it is brown for some reason. Maybe it could just be lighting, to be honest. It almost looks like it's more gray, like a dark gray than it is brown.
no, I can't believe I didn't know this. But the two guys that are actually the Mandalorian, because Pedro's, especially this season, he was seldom in the suit. So the two guys that do it, they got one black guy and one white guy. The white dude Brendan Wayne. He's John Wayne's grandson.
Who?
Oh, okay, that's cool.
John Wayne's grandson, and he said that he kind of patterns his walk, the Mando walk that he does after the Duke. And if you watch it now and think of John Wayne, you can't unsee it.
Yeah, he has that walk.
He's got the same swagger. Yeah.
Did you see Nomad Props Instagram reel when he met him at the
yes. Yeah, they both did the stare off.
He's teaching him how to do the shoulder back, gun draw thing.
I have a question. It's kind of not important, but has anyone else noticed that Bo-Katan is the only one who calls Din by his actual name?
Yeah.
Which I found Mando or the Mandalorian.
I found so interesting.
I feel like I've heard the Armorer say Din Djarin.
She said it.
She says Din, though. She says Din.
Din Djarin, but she says Din Djarin. Like she says his full name.
Yeah, it's like formal, like part of an oath or something.
Yeah.
She kind of talks like in the Bible or something.
I think the next few episodes we're going to see the relationship between Bo and Din develop rapidly.
Clank.
Yeah.
Well, I think in the trailer. Oh damn, Matt. In the trailer, when we see her ship being chased by TIE fighters, I think is going to be the next episode.
Could be
because the Starfighter is by her temple, so they're going to have to leave Mandalore to go get it. So something in between there is going to happen to where they're going to get chased.
Yeah, because it seems like that chase is happening on the planet that her little castles on.
But here's my question though: is what triggered the Empire to go after them if they go into Mandalore?
Maybe they've always watched the planet.
Yeah,
that's a big one too.
And anybody comes out, they go after them. That's how they keep the myth that it's a cursed planet.
Yeah.
But to what end though? Like to what purpose?
Because the Empire now is still just like remnants. It's not. They're not. They're building up enough to start this cloning and shit. But I'm kind of feeling like they're not
to be like a ship close by or something. But no, because they can't even see through the magnetic field and all that. Like you can't even communicate through it. So
maybe the Empire's doing something down there they don't want anybody else to know about.
They're getting the Beskar, because how did the Empire get the Beskar to pay Mando?
Yeah.
But how would they communicate? Oh, so it has nothing to do with anything outside of the planet. It's just someone on planet.
I think they've been mining Mandalore for the Beskar. And so they're getting on their radars within the planet because they said they can't communicate with the one outside of orbit. They didn't say anything within orbit. Yeah. So they could be mining there and speaking to each other and say we have activity.
What if they've got like a presence there on a different part of the planet?
It would have to have been like we found a new mine after blowing the shit out of this planet, because they would have went through the front door if they were going through the original mine. You know what I mean? So it's going to have to be on the other side of the planet kind of thing.
Potentially, yeah.
Dude, this is going to be a good season, the more you think about it.
Yeah, it's definitely set up for fucking greatness.
It doesn't feel like we're going to ever get filler, does it? It feels like it's just going to be epic.
I put a little poll in the chat, will season 3 be the greatest one so far? And every indication so far is yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's just so much. We're two episodes fucking in, and look at what we've had. Will there be maybe a couple, not even a couple, maybe one minute kind of filler, potentially towards maybe 4, maybe 5. But I think for the most part, it's going to be boom, 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 boom. All killer, no fucking filler, and that's it.
And it's 56 minutes, episode 3, so we have a long episode.
Next one's just going to go and keep going, and it's going to be awesome.
What's happening next week? If it's that fucking long, what's happening next week?
There's going to have to be some new threat to Din and Bo, and I think that's, Chris is right. Maybe there's an Empire presence already, Imperial presence on the planet already. Yeah. But I mean, they have to talk about
so there's got to be a resolution to the mythosaur.
And the question is if Din's going to believe her or not.
Yeah, so he was still unconscious?
Yep, the whole way up until they got to the top.
Mm-hmm. Because we haven't got yet a main antagonist for this series.
Maybe they reintroduce Moff Gideon next week. Who knows?
Moff Gideon does not feel like a big enough threat anymore.
No, he doesn't.
What about Moff Gideon in like a full-on black Mandalorian set with a jetpack? Would that be a good enough villain?
No.
Still not good.
So Adrian even said it that what's his name? Oh, I forgot his name already.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yes, yeah. That he was at the premiere. I saw that too.
Fucking love that dude.
Well, so was Anthony Daniels. You think the kid Boba Fett's going to be in it?
Oh, Daniel Logan?
Daniel Logan, not Anthony Daniels. Sorry. Yeah, Daniel.
It'd be kind of cool to see Daniel Logan in it.
It's actually not a bad idea.
I mean, we know Moff Gideon's going to be in it, but I just don't see him being the main bad guy.
What if it's Thrawn? What if we get Thrawn back?
They would save it for Ahsoka.
I would feel like we're gonna get Moff Gideon again, but he's gonna be under the orders of him.
Maybe.
That's the only thing I think of is Thrawn is. This is the season that's gonna lead up to Ahsoka, which means we're going to get Thrawn. So something has to happen within the season
it's a new
for that
bad
to
guy.
happen.
I think it's going to be another Mandalorian clan. So there's going to be the Din's people, Bo's people that left her. I think there's going to be another group of Mandalorians, maybe.
Maybe the group that Bo was leading was like, okay, we're going to come back and it's livable now, so we're just going to fucking take it.
Well, yeah, because they're just scavenging, aren't they? They're just out there fucking,
But I mean, we don't have to go with a character we already know. It's
a whole new person.
Yeah.
A whole new,
I agree with Brian.
Yeah, I agree as well.
Like the armor.
So question about her. Because of the horns on the helmet, do you think she may have been a Maul loyalist?
Yeah, I've heard that theory lots of times, and it certainly could be, but... Well, yeah, because she talks about Bo-Katan in a negative light. A cautionary tale, I think is the word she used.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and she could be going back to when the attack happened on Mandalore.
They're descendants of the Death Watch, aren't they? The Children of the Watch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're the Death Watch and the Night Owls joined briefly, but then separated again. So that's who these are. I think if you look back, there's common ancestry between Yarmer's people and Bo-Katan's people.
And Bo-Katan was part of the Night Watch, and then she left.
Yes. Yeah. So she was Death Watch and Night Owl. She was both of them. So yeah, I don't know. I do love again how when we started the whole series, we were indoctrinated in this clan. This was the only Mandalorian, and it was really confusing too because the whole you don't take off your helmet, it didn't seem like what we knew of a Mandalorian to be. And then we found out when he met Bo-Katan that wasn't what Mandalorians are. It was only this strange. I like the way they presented that. They gave us a season before we realized we were part of the crazy.
I like this theory here because we haven't really spoken about this, right? Because we know Ahsoka, she's not a Jedi. I am no Jedi, right? But she's a Force user. She uses lightsabers. What if Grogu kind of becomes aligned with the way that she thinks? What if he builds a lightsaber? What if he...
Like independent.
Yeah.
I love that he's using the Force as a weapon.
Well, exactly. And that kind of makes you think along these lines as well. Like, oh, wait a minute here, because he can't wield the Darksaber. It's too fucking small.
Well, and Din called us Mandalorian. He said, I forget how he said it, but he didn't just say this is my homeworld. He said this is our homeworld because we're both Mandalorians. Like Grogu's a Mandalorian at this point.
And Bo-Katan, she really thought of him as a Mandalorian too.
B said the words. He said the words, man. He said the fucking words.
But hasn't Lucasfilm and Star Wars basically said that's not actually a thing? So stop saying it.
Jedi?
They could change it now.
Pretty much, man. But how would you define Ahsoka? Everything in Star Wars has a tag. How would you define Ahsoka?
Ahsoka is no Jedi. She says it herself.
Technically a fucking grey Jedi. Technically.
She is no Jedi.
Well, there's no such thing as grey Jedi, though. Jedi is a religion, so you can't say...
She's just an ex-Jedi.
Well, didn't Chirrut Imwe say something about that not everybody with the Force was a Jedi?
Right.
In Rogue One?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shit, I'll be right back.
I think Leia was using the Force before she was a Jedi.
Oh yeah, she was, because she was able to sense when something was wrong.
Well,
she was
and the way she read the people, and even in Obi-Wan when she was 10 years old, to the point where Obi-Wan's like, "You're 10."
Well, here's my other question now: is talking about building a lightsaber for Grogu. Kyber crystals is on Ilum, which then becomes Starkiller Base. So what happens? So what happens if they go there and there is already
they delete the scene from Jedi Fallen Order is what they do.
No.
Well, originally
they
that
run
wasn't
into Cal Kestis, and Sam is finally fucking right.
And then Cal Kestis is in there playing. It was part of the game when he was like fixing his saber. That was right there.
Awesome.
Originally, Starkiller Base was just some random planet. It didn't become Ilum until the game.
Yeah. So now you'll have to put that
realize
together.
it until I played through and somebody told me, and I had to go back and look, and it changes in the game.
Yep.
I didn't believe it when I was told it. I was like, "What BS?" And I went and looked up the end of the game, and I was like, "Oh my god, it even says Ilum."
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking to myself. If you're gonna get a Kyber crystal, it's gonna be there. So what if we get that little link to Episode 7 when we get Empire presence there for no reason? They're just being chased for some reason. They don't know why, but that's the reason why. Is they're starting to build it.
Careful. There's a lot, and that's so difficult for them to do. It's like, listen, we have to, eventually the story's gonna get to point B, right? Everything between point A and point B, we have to be careful what we put and how we put it in the right time for it to all make sense for Episode 7. Ever see that movie A Perfect Mind when the guy is like totally he's crazy. I forget the term.
Louis Gossett Jr. Is that the one with him?
No, it's
it's Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe, yeah.
Oh,
and Paul Bettany.
Boards with lines drawn to like newspaper to this, and he thinks everything's all connected.
Beautiful Mind.
A Beautiful Mind. There we go.
Yeah,
that was a great movie.
Like, there's a person at Lucasfilm that has a board like that, like trying to keep track of all of the logistical parts of Star Wars and how it connects.
They're on Post-it notes,
and he's pulling his hair out,
and then it's tied to like. There's like thread, and the thread goes to like one side, and they tie it on that, and so every time they make a change, they have to make a new Post-it note.
And then he's watching the show, and they say, "No, the child's 50 years old," and he's like, "What? God damn it! No, I have to."
He's like, where's that string?
And then a new comic book comes out that changes something. He's like, "Motherfucker!"
Which now I have to read. I just got that book for the years that lead up to Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Which I gotta start reading it. I keep telling myself to do it.
I just started reading Brotherhood,
but there's something in there. I will see if anything changes.
And I still need to read Plagueis.
I have to go get that book now and read that first because the game's coming up quick, right?
In about a month. All right, like I think 1 or 2 weeks after Celebration.
Yeah,
it's
only 200
this month, wasn't it?
It came out already. Yeah, it's like 200 pages, I think.
Read the book and make a YouTube video explaining it, like a book report, so I don't have to read it.
Hard pass.
I'll do it.
There you go, Matt.
Yeah, I
need ideas for content anyway. Screw it. I'm gonna start reviewing Black Series figures.
You do chapter by chapter, and then you have to have like a little fireplace in the background and just.
Well, I'm sitting in front of the wood.
Oh yeah, Carter did do that. I forgot. Damn. Never mind. Don't do that.
Well, I'm sitting in front of the one burning stove, so I could theoretically do that.
There you go. I like it. I would love it because I always told Carter because I don't know, he said it was too much work, and I get it because he would talk for like an hour and then have to edit it, and like I'm sure it's a lot of work because you have to decide what to put in the video and whatever. But I would be totally interested in videos like that because I'm not a reader. I
do the audio. I do the audiobooks too. I do audiobook and the book. So what I'll do is I'll read with the book as I'm listening to it because the change in their voices make it more exciting. And then if I want to keep listening to it, I'll listen to it in the car on my drive, and I'll listen to it. I want the clip
notes. I don't want to listen to it for 20 hours.
I think it's only 200 pages. Shouldn't be too bad.
What are you doing, Matt? Putting a post-it over your camera?
No, there's a stupid little blinky light on it, and I know
that means somebody else is watching you.
No, it's just maybe, who knows, but apparently that's also part of the camera.
Probably the sensor that does the autofocus.
No, it's just a little LED that lights up and then it annoys me.
Mine turns green when it's working, so I know that it's on.
But yeah, that was the whole episode, guys. I mean, there's really not much more, but it's just like
Sam's like liking my stuff on Instagram right now. I'm like, Sam, what are you doing?
Talk to me after this, Brian.
I'm just ready for the next episode. I think it's gonna be really good.
Oh, it's gonna be fantastic.
I think there's 9 episodes in this season.
I think it was 8.
That's what they normally do. Is 9,
8,
right?
Let me see.
Dare I say, a contender for The Last of Us? Like every episode of The Last of Us was a banger. Do you think they could possibly keep up that pace with
46 minutes is Concernicus.
Yeah, I'm very, very concerned about that.
Yeah. To the point where you're more excited for episode 3 of Mando instead of the last episode of Last of Us.
No, I'm more excited for the last episode of The Last of Us. Although the only thing that disappointed me is I wanted more infected.
Yeah,
and I think we'll get that in the last episode. But
yeah, I don't think we are, dude.
Really?
Don't think we are.
I wouldn't be disappointed if we don't get the zoo.
Yeah, that needs to happen.
Get the zoo. Absolutely. But like the amount of infected going into Salt Lake City, right? I forget. Like in the game, even wasn't even that much. But
trying to find the episode count for season 3. I had it. I don't know what to do with it. There are 8 episodes. Yeah.
This is gonna be blasphemous. But Picard is a strong contender for better than Mando season.
I've heard that. I'm gonna go re-sign up my CBS? I forget which.
Paramount Plus.
No, that's Paramount Plus.
CBS is a store, isn't it?
CBS?
Did you say CV or network? CBS?
Oh. CB. B as in Bravo.
Yeah, I might have to go back and watch that now because I don't think I ever watched season 2 even.
No, I watched season 1 but never watched season 2.
Season 2's isn't the best, but season 3 has been amazing so far.
Like they're all in season 3, aren't they?
Hi, Samwise.
Like
sorry guys, I'm going to the bathroom there.
How was it?
Everything come out okay? Oh, Tim, that helmet looks like it's just barely big enough where you don't have to open it.
It is. I had to cut like half the seam out too here to get it. Otherwise, I'd have to take
armor. Which one is it?
But yeah, this one barely goes over. And my nose kind of sticks out.
Oh.
I kind of want to make
the guy
just shave some of your nose off.
His head's smaller than mine, so it'll fit him.
I kind of want to make a 501st.
Yeah, this one's going to be a 501st.
Dude, you could just buy the Hasbro one, just like repaint it.
just saying.
Just an idea. I thought I saw someone like say that. I was like, that's actually not a bad idea.
It comes with a voice changer.
Yeah.
It's not right.
It's not fun unless you make it yourself.
Although now it makes sense that the Hasbro Mando helmet came with a little, flashlight. Yeah, that makes sense now. Finally.
He had the flashlight when he went going for the Mudhorn.
Oh, that's right, he did.
Yep.
Never used the flashlight. Staying in the box for the entire time I had it.
Yeah, mine's still in the box.
I've got the flashlight on mine.
You have it on?
You display it with it on?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
Yeah, it looks terrible. I don't.
You're
like
the
it
first
at all.
person I ever heard say that.
Yeah, I hate it.
It's just too bulky. It looks stupid. Like, I don't know. It'd be
Oh, were
one
you
thing if
guys
it was
talking
just
to
part
Karen?
of his helmet, but like a piece that adds on. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a little black plastic flashlight on the side of it.
It's magnetic, right? So just kind of.
No, it's not. You have to literally pull off the whole thing.
Yeah, you
And it's
got to change the whole thing.
Yeah, and it's scary because when you pull it, you feel like you're gonna break it. Just to like take both pieces off, like take off the original, put the flashlight on, take the flashlight off. You feel like you're gonna break it again.
Yeah, you get the
Rachel
battery.
is correct.
Oh. I don't know who Miss Sunflower is, but I like her theories.
That's your friend, right, Rachel? Right? That
Yes.
was on with you the other night.
Yes, when I
Last
accidentally
weekend?
closed the
Yeah.
stream.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
hibachi?
I think that.
Oh, hibachi sounds so good right now.
What if
Zach
it- what
was
if it-
fiending for that hibachi.
What if it is, by the way? What if the Darksaber does get destroyed?
Well, would that disband Mandalore because the person who holds the Darksaber is the ruler of Mandalore? Which would be another reason why it wouldn't exist in Episode 7.
But if you ride the Mythosaur, aren't you just the new Mandalore and it doesn't matter what? Like, if you were holding a stick, wouldn't the stick be the thing that leads the people?
What if
You know
it
what I mean?
dies?
You know?
I feel like the Darksaber's too cool to destroy. I'm sorry.
I'd be actually pretty upset.
It's
Yeah.
a one of one. It just feels like I don't think it would. It's something that Lucas created himself.
So where is the Darksaber in The Rise of Skywalker?
Doesn't play into that. Darksaber has nothing to do with the Skywalker saga.
That's going to be the new movie, Star Wars 10. Rey versus whoever has the Darksaber.
Now that would be cool.
And it's
I
going to be
still
Grogu.
think that they're missing out in like season 7 of The Mandalorian, just jumping ahead 400 years and having Grogu be the Mandalorian way in the future. As a grown ass, Jedi Mandalorian master. I think
If anything, like let's say the show goes 10 seasons, the last scene of season 10 will be that. Like, if
Yeah.
anything, like we will see it. I'm sure of it.
an old
whether it-
Grogu standing there holding the Mandalorian's helmet and being all upset and remembering him.
It's going to be him holding the helmet like this, upset, and then all of a sudden Kylo's ship came down and hit him and squashed him, and that's where Episode 7 started.
BB-8 just rolls by.
So it's gonna be just like Rogue One started. So
Drops
ending.
off the map.
Drop.
of fucking
It
Luke
comes
Skywalker.
down. The door comes down, hits Grogu. Grogu's underwater or underground, died, and then Kylo walks out. Started season or Episode 7.
I'll show you the dark side.
That's messed up.
Literally have no idea where this season's going.
Same.
Like
I have like little things, but
yeah, right. But
like story wise, no
Yeah.
idea.
Usually there's like indications, like we know Ahsoka, most likely Sabine, possibly. Bo-Katan's a massive part of this. Who's going to be the main antagonist in the whole series? Will there be a main antagonist?
Well, there has to be an antagonist.
Yeah, I think you've got the Remnant Empire out there. I think it's still going to be Moff Gideon. I think we're discounting the fact that he's still out there. They've already mentioned him, that he's captured by the New Republic.
It's definitely someone taking orders from Thrawn because you have to piggyback on something in order to start Ahsoka.
Well, don't forget we got Captain Greenbeard. He's going to play into something.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
Also, could there
potentially.
still be Mandalorians working for the Empire?
Oh yeah, like Gar Saxon and the Super Commandos. Yeah.
I mean, Mark's not wrong here. Disney appears to be focusing more on Star Wars series than films. With everything.
Yeah, they canceled the Patty Jenkins one.
That's all
That thing has been that fucking movie. Honestly, right? That movie has been on and off more than a horse fucking nickels, man. I swear to God. Like, it's on, it's off, it's on, it's off, it's on. It's like, fucking make your mind up. It's off now.
I'm just saying, Top Gun, but with X-Wings would have been awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I fucking agree.
Yeah, I'm okay with anything without Skywalker stuff in it. Like, I'm totally cool with it. Give me.
That's all I want. I'm not gonna lie. That's all I want. Let's go back 1,000 years before Episode 1. That's it.
Oh fuck yeah!
I'd be Keanu Reeves to play Revan.
Yes, fucking yes.
Not even Revan. Just do brand new stories in the Old Republic with Jedi with armor and 1,000 Sith acolytes running around. That would be badass.
And then get the same stunt coordinator for Episode 1 through 3. Forgot his name. Have him in there.
Yeah.
Game over.
And bring back Ray Park. Put him in some other kind of makeup so he can do some awesome stuff.
Well, he needs to be okay with Lucasfilms before he does that.
I thought it was better now.
Mm-mm.
No? I thought he recently just said at like a convention or something that
That's the name. Adrian got it.
they've been in talks for him to do something, voice something, like to be involved in a project.
But hey, guys, I gotta take off because I have to sleep before I have to work tonight.
Sleep's overrated.
Man.
I got a 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. shift.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's gonna be so much fun.
I gotta get up butt ass early though.
Dude, what would you actually do, right? If like I just appeared in Vegas at your work one night, like, yo, bitch, give me a rum and coke.
Dude, I'm gonna look at my boss and be, hey man, I'm taking the early out. I gotta go. I gotta change. Come right back and have some fun. But I'll see you guys later.
Dude, have a great night at work, man. Take it easy.
I'm gonna try. Love you guys. Bye, everyone.
Take it easy. I'm leaving too.
Oh, well.
Oh,
I think Tim said I'm leaving too.
And then there was 3.
Yep.
Real quick, so I'm gonna actually gonna wrap this up shortly, right? What do you guys like? Now we had a couple episodes, right, and we're getting a good kind of taste and a good semi sense of direction to where this is all kind of going. In terms of who's involved, what do you guys want out of this season? Like, what has to be? Like, you're sitting there watching the last 5 minutes of episode 8. What has to be the end goal for this one? Fucking tough question. I've been asking myself all week. I cannot answer it.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, to see Grogu and Din become more of that father and son type, like, we've already gotten a lot of it in just 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But I feel like, we're going to get more of that. The whole bringing the people of Mandalore together, I don't know.
I would like to see some of the clans be unified at the end of the season. Doesn't have to be all of them, maybe 2 or 3, but I would like to see the beginning of a unified Mandalore.
We get that scene of him. It looks like he's walking through them and giving a bit of a speech. That's not something that was in episode 1 or 2, though, right?
No.
Because he like barely got out of his ship, other than being in the cave, but it didn't show him walking by the other Mandalorians. Not that I remember.
And he didn't have the fancy armor when he was around him either.
So the fact that we see that means he has to return to them.
They're gonna play hide the Darksaber.
Hide the Darksaber.
Oh god.
Matt's like, I thought of that 3 days ago. God, I've been waiting to say that.
I have been.
Look at me like, show me your mythosaur. I don't know. I've honestly been asking myself that question for like a few days, right?
Yeah.
For the life of me, for whatever reason, I just can't. I don't know why. I just can't come up with a solid answer.
Well, maybe because you want something unexpected.
That's potentially, yeah.
Like, I want something that we don't already know. I don't want Moff Gideon to be the bad guy. Like, introduce something new to me that I've never met.
I want another big surprise, like when we saw Luke at the end of last season.
Yeah,
There's something no one saw coming.
If they keep on doing stuff like that, then it's like, okay, what's the big one? You're gonna expect it, right?
Yeah.
And the whole point really is like they're never gonna expect this. And I don't think anyone expected Luke.
Definitely not in Book of Boba.
Well, like here's the thing, right? When you're talking about the last episode of season 2, right? We're on the fucking bridge, right? The alarms start going off. And it's the Dark Trooper fucking garrison coming back, right? Yeah. You're like, okay, cool. This is where it's going to go.
Really awesome techno music.
Total fucking misdirect, you know? And then the proximity alarm goes off again. And you're like, it's a single ship. And for a split second, you're like, oh, a single ship? You're thinking,
oh, great, we're saved.
It's just Boba Fett. Right? That's what you're thinking.
He was floating around, yeah.
And then you see the X-Wing, you're like, no, it can't be. Like, they can't give us another moment like that until, in my opinion, like maybe season 5. Because, number one, what can you do? And number two, if you do it too fucking often, you lose the magic. That's one of the most magical fucking moments in Star Wars history.
Yeah.
You know, like I was literally in fucking tears. I was like...
Every time I watch that episode, I'm in tears.
I cried when Grogu was trying to get to Bo-Katan. I was like, you can do it, buddy. You're going to make it. Save your daddy.
Well, season 1 had a little bit of a surprise at the end because no one was expecting to see the live-action Darksaber.
Oh, that was like...
Cutting through the tie.
For me, that was during lockdown. I watched the first season of Mandalorian quite late. Everything was out. And then... I was like literally sat on... It was like 2 p.m, sat on the couch with like my mum. Watching the last episode because it was lockdown and there was nothing else to do but watch shit. And it was the last scene and this black blade just appears through this fucking TIE fighter. You're like that. And I'm like, no. And Mum's like, what? And I'm like, no, it can't be. She's like, what is it? Because she's never watched Clone Wars or fucking Rebels. And I'm like, I will explain all in like 10 minutes. I was literally...
You're like, I can pause it for 45 minutes or we can finish it.
Like, holy shit, you know? That was awesome.
My wife always regrets it when she asks a question when we're watching something about Star Wars. Like, we'll be about 15 minutes and she's like, I'm sorry I asked. I didn't want the history lesson.
When I was watching all the Star Wars with my niece, when she would ever ask a question, I'm like, we're not going to finish the movie if you keep asking these questions.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you just need to watch them.
The recap at the beginning of Obi-Wan, it took us about 2.5 hours to get through the recap because it played 1 10-second scene. I'd hit pause. I'm like, okay, so then this happens, and it's more like they're brothers, and then they went into war, and then they kind of let the rules go because they're at war. So Anakin kind of gets with whatever he wants. I'm like, she's like, okay, so it was like a father figure, but then it was like a brother. Got it. I'm like, oh, okay, I explained too much.
Would have been just easier just to watch the prequels.
It almost took that long.
Nice. You're not wrong what you said there, though, Matt. Like season 1, we get a big surprise at the end. Darksaber. Season 2, we got Luke. What do we have at season 3? My best guess is a massive cliffhanger as to whether either A, someone is dead, or B, some serious shit is about to go down to lead us into season 4.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping for a cliffhanger that ends with Sabine coming in. That's what I want.
Oh, fuck yes.
Yeah, I figure Sabine, but they'll have to be careful with the aging because they'll have to have her look different here than in Ahsoka's show. I mean, or vice versa. I don't know, but The timeline will be important if they bring in Sabine. But I think Sabine is like, if you're going to have one of those moments like the Darksaber or the Luke or the Ahsoka moment, Sabine's a moment. Like, that would be fan service for sure.
Well, doesn't the aging thing wouldn't be an issue because Ahsoka is happening round about this.
Are they like kind of concurrently?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So you have to be careful because going back to Rebels was how long ago?
Oh, going back to Rebels at this point, 20 years.
And Ahsoka was what? 20?
No, wouldn't be. Oh yeah, I guess it might be 20.
I don't think it is. No, I don't.
Sabine was 19 at the end of Rebels.
Well, wait a minute. How long after A New Hope was?
Well, so we're 5 years roughly after Return, right?
Right now we're 7. We're 7 now.
7.
And
Okay.
original trilogy was 5 or 6.
So you're talking 12 years.
Yeah.
So Sabine today would be 12 years older.
So she'd
than
be probably
when?
mid-30s.
Okay.
Which would work. It would totally work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
So if anything, you got to start thinking about how old Ahsoka is. But then again, she's an alien, so you can kind of say whatever there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she looks right.
Yeah.
But based off the actress?
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons they went with Rosario Dawson over Ashley Eckstein.
Oh, I was thinking Sabine. Yeah. No. I agree with that.
Ashley Eckstein's so baby-faced, and she's like, what, mid-40s?
I thought she was 50. I could be wrong. I got to look it up now.
She might be. I have no, but she's so baby-faced. Like, she could literally still be like a little sister. Rosario, while still absolutely fucking gorgeous, she has a little bit more maturity to her appearance. You know? And it works really, really well with the Ahsoka makeup. You know? So it bridges the timeline really, really well between Clone Wars and Rebels, you know? Having Rosario
Did you see
play.
Ashley, how do you say her last name? I always say it wrong.
Eckstein?
Eckstein? So E-C and then Stein? Eckstein?
Eckstein or Eckstein.
So Ashley, the voice for Ahsoka, she said at a con recently, I think she was on a panel or something, she said that she visited the set of Ahsoka while Rosario was there, and she said, I did not play a part, but maybe they have something for me in season 2. And I was like, oh shit, like we're already talking about season 2 and stuff like that. But just the fact that she went to the Ahsoka sets and got to see, Rosario playing Ahsoka and all that, she's like, it was so beautiful, like just seeing it and still kind of, being relevant in it. But she said that there might be, I think she said the writers might be able to write something in for her for season 2 or something like that, which was pretty exciting to hear.
Even if it's just like a small background role and she says something, would be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, absolutely. Because obviously we've got Katie Sackhoff as Bo-Katan in live action and as the voice actress.
Mm-hmm.
But that's one of those ones where her appearance just so happened to so fucking physically suit the character.
Yeah.
And she plays it so well, I think the casting, we haven't really spoken much about casting for Star Wars shows. I think the casting has been fucking spot on.
Andor was really good.
Andor was fantastic. Every single character was cast to perfection. Mandalorian has been much the same. Here's a question: Fennec Shand? Because we know that obviously she's a Boba loyalist, right? But she doesn't always. Yeah. She's always off doing other bits and pieces too.
I feel like if you put Fennec in, it's just a cop-out to not put Boba in.
Yeah.
She's discount Boba Fett at that point.
Yeah. What about Chrysanthemum?
That could play.
As long as it's not the mods.
Yeah.
The mods.
We heard you needed help. We sent you the mods. Here's the mods.
You know what? Get Danny Trejo to come in to train the Mythosaur.
Oh,
there we go.
Machete in space.
Bill Burr, fantastic. Yes, Bill Burr, his character was fucking perfect.
Yeah.
His story's probably over, but I'd love to see him again.
The casting has been fucking, even in Kenobi, the casting was fucking bang on. You know, like everything we've had live action, the casting has been absolutely superb. You know, and why is it superb? Because it's fucking believable. It's believable. You know, like you could have a million people playing the character that Bill Burr played. You know, but I wouldn't have believed it if it was Chris Rock. You know, like the casting's been fucking outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, we could be wowed by anyone, but he definitely wowed us to the point where that's now the character. Like, I will never think of anyone else as that character now.
Well, that's the thing. When you've got a franchise like Star Wars, Star Trek as well, obviously, you know, certain franchises that you have, you as a person, as a human being, as a professional, become synonymous with that character.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing with Mark Hamill. Like, he's not Mark Hamill, he's Luke Skywalker. He's the Joker. You know, like Adam Driver. That's not Adam Driver, that's Kylo Ren. You know, like, that's the level of importance that these shows and movies carry, you know, in cinema and in television, you know.
Yeah, where the character almost becomes more famous than the actor.
Yes,
it kind of takes over their persona, or not their persona, but it takes over the credit of who they really are.
I'm pretty sure that Carrie Fisher spoke about that years ago, you know, by playing Princess Leia. I think she made the joke of every time she looked in the mirror, she had to fucking pay George Lucas a few bucks, you know, like, because she became essentially, she ceased to be fucking Carrie Fisher and became Princess Leia, you know?
Yeah, although Carrie Fisher was a very different character from Princess Leia.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah, absolutely. However, you look at the likes of Pedro Pascal. Did anyone really
he's got too many famous characters.
But here's the thing: did anyone really take full, proper note of him as a serious actor until he done the fucking Mandalorian? He was in things. He had roles.
Narcos, Game of Thrones.
I was gonna say, you obviously didn't watch Narcos or Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Well, Game of Thrones, I kind of recognized him from Game of Thrones, but I didn't know that name back then.
Yeah, exactly. The name wasn't known. The face was maybe known, but the name wasn't known as well. Mandalorian. 1 and 2 seasons, and boom, all of a sudden he is, like, right now the biggest thing on the planet. Pedro Pascal, The Last of Us.
Last of Us helps.
You know, he's everywhere now.
He is every fucking where, everywhere. You know,
and every role he plays is perfect.
Oh, he's outstanding.
Even in Wonder Woman 1984, he was fantastic.
Yeah.
It
was. Have you seen the Law and Order scene when he plays a gothic Satanist?
No, I'm gonna have to look that up.
I've seen that one before, only because my mother watches Law and Order fucking religiously.
Yeah.
Was it Sarah Michelle Gellar that posted a picture of him from Buffy a week or so ago?
Yeah,
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's been around, and this is generally what happens with actors as they are around. You know their face, like, oh, I remember that they were in such and such, you know, and then all of a sudden they get that one big thing, and it's like the name is up in lights, and you're synonymous with the Mandalorian. And I mean, he's got 2 massive fucking shows running concurrently just now.
How big? So I'm a huge Nicolas Cage fan. So that movie,
I was just coming on to that. Yeah,
I need to see that.
Incredible weight of talent, or whatever the title is. Really love the movie. I've watched it like 5 times in the last 2 weeks. But is that a big movie to other people, or is it just because I like Nicolas Cage?
No, it's a pretty big fucking movie, man.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. Pretty big fucking movie.
People love Nicolas Cage.
Oh, fucking adore. I adore Nicolas. My favorite Nicolas Cage movie, The Rock.
Oh, of course, that's the best one.
Yeah. The best line though isn't even Nick Cage, it's just fucking Sean Connery, you know. He turns up and he goes, Ed Harris, like, identify yourself, sailor. He's like, Her Majesty's SAS. Like, it's just fucking brilliant, you know. It's just so fucking good. Fucking, I love that movie.
Nicolas Cage was asked, it might have been this week actually, about being in the MCU, and the way that the paper or whatever that wrote it up said, and Nicolas Cage gave the most Nicolas Cage answer you could possibly think of. And he said, I don't need to be in the MCU. I'm Nick Cage. I was just like, oh my God.
I'm Nick fucking Cage. You know?
Because apparently stuff with like Ghost Rider stuff coming up or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't been following.
The problem is there's too much stuff coming up, you know? Like, look at all the MCU stuff. If you're an MCU and Star Wars and Star Trek fan, which I think we pretty much all are,
Yeah.
right now you're fucking spoiled, man.
And DC, because we got
DC.
Flash coming up, and had Black Adam.
Shazam this week.
Yeah.
You know, you're just
And
spoiled,
DC
man.
fans are just clinging to it because the actual big DC name stuff sucked.
I'll be honest, man. Like, I've never been a massive DC fan. I've always been a Marvel guy. I've always felt that the DC universe is very dark and gritty and depressing and very odd and very weird, whereas the Marvel universe is a little bit more kind of, I don't know, Disney-fied, even before it was owned by Disney.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
You know?
I don't know. Batman pulled me in at a young age because the animated series was like I was in 3rd grade, so that was like a big deal for me back then. And Batman was really like the OG superhero movie. You know, the Michael Keaton Batman.
Well, you had the Chris Reeve Superman before then.
Superman, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Batman movies I grew up on were fucking shit. And then, like, to me, and this might fucking trigger some people saying this.
Uh-oh, Sam's got a hot take.
Christian Bale is the best Batman.
I respectfully disagree.
You can.
Yeah, I mean, clearly it's
absolutely. No, man, I'm sorry, but that whole trilogy, the way it was done, I thought it was done super fucking well. It's the ones that I personally enjoy most out of everything.
Oh, they're fantastic movies.
Yeah, they're good movies.
Amazing fucking movies, you know. I still haven't watched the new one with fucking Robert fucking.
It's very good.
You haven't seen the Batman?
It was fucking filmed in my city, and I still haven't watched it.
It's very, very good.
Yeah, you have to watch that one, dude.
The Flash was filmed here as well. Probably won't watch that because, you know.
No. This is gonna trigger someone. My favorite Batman, live action at least, is Ben Affleck, because his Batman is more like the Arkham games Batman, and those games are amazing. Just the way he fights, how he uses just like objects that are around him as weapons of opportunity, reminds me so much of the Arkham games, and I fucking love it.
Speaking of games, we need a Mandalorian game.
Yeah.
We need some sort of third or first.
You can keep being triggered, Adam. I'm not going to apologize.
Like, honest to God, we need some sort of Mandalorian type style game. You know, like what even kind of games are due out for Star Wars? There was that one for the Switch. Is that even out yet? I don't know if that's even,
Switch?
There was a Star Wars game due for the Switch. It was announced like last year. I don't even know if it's out.
Remember that.
Lego Skywalker Saga is all I remember coming out for the Switch.
Different one.
Yeah, I need to finish that.
Um,
We have Fallen Survivor coming out, but
I cannot wait for that.
I've got it pre-ordered.
I was trying to pre-order the collector's edition. And I see the price. With the fucking lightsaber. Yeah.
It's only like an extra $50 over the price of a lightsaber, isn't it?
I was like, but it's like $300, and I thought, fuck that.
Like, I'm not gonna pay for that. If it's
Well, if it was coming with an 8.9, I'd fucking go hell yeah. But it's a fucking legacy saber, and that thing is chunky.
it's a Disney saber. I don't want that chunky thing.
But my point is, the Disney saber is like $250 on its own. So an extra $50, you're getting the game and all the special edition stuff. So I mean, the value technically.
You don't even get the blade.
I know, dude. I know. Come on. I'm just saying, technically, the value is there. I don't want that saber, but it's not a bad deal for someone who does.
The only legacy saber I'm interested in is the Jedi Dooku. It's the only fucking one.
I noted that.
I know you did.
I don't need the Disney one because I have this.
I don't have that.
I've got mine hung on the wall. I'm actually taking my Fallen
Yo,
to Zach. How are you?
What's up, Zach?
I'm taking my Fallen and my Dark Saber to Celebration with me.
Nice.
I'm giving them to Sebastian to take back to California, and he's going to paint them for me.
Nice.
Yeah, what's he gonna paint?
My Fallen V2.
Mm-hmm.
And my
So
Dark Saber.
Like the weathered, like how you would normally see it. Okay.
Yeah, so like obviously I've got this fucking Octo killer that I'm like getting at some point that's being kept for me by Dave. I need to pay for that soon, like holy shit. But I'm
gonna convince Dave to sell it to me, and then I'll sell it to you for the same price.
He will not sell it to no one, man. Trust me. But like, no, the thing like when Jedi Survivor was announced and they had the new V4 pommel and all that shit that Corban
I need to get one of those.
I was like, oh, okay. Well, I can have the Octo as like the Fallen Order hilt, and then I could have the fucking the V2 with the V4 pommel as the fucking Survivor hilt. You know, the Saber Bay one looks amazing. You know?
Yeah, I really do want one of those, but I don't have an Anakin yet, so like I have priorities before with my Fallen Order saber.
I got an Anakin. You want an Anakin?
Yeah, dude, send it over.
What do you want for it?
So you got my address?
Yeah. What do you want to trade for?
I don't know, feet pics or what do you?
Feet pics.
Not into feet, bro.
Whoa, Zach's like, believe it or not, I just bought 3 new hilts.
He sure did.
Why don't you hop on and tell us all about it? I promise I won't edit.
Well, I'm gonna end the stream.
I was gonna say, I think Sam's about to end it though.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna end the stream, but Zach's more than welcome to hop on and fucking chat for a bit.
That's a good comment. Put it up on the screen.
What, feet pics?
There you go.
Oh shit, man. Hope we see remnant Mandalorians.
That would be cool.
Yeah, just another faction of Mandalorians at all would be awesome.
It's so hard to call.
So hard to what?
It's so hard to call, like what's actually going to be happening, because
yeah, it's going to be something we aren't even thinking about. It's going to have to be something new.
Yeah.
Well, they're giving us already like enough. They're giving us so much. They're giving us stuff to hang on. They're giving us, surprises.
I guess my point is not everything has to be a tie back to a character we've already met before.
Oh, it doesn't have to be. Absolutely not. But you just know that the way that it's been done, some of it probably will be.
Yeah.
I mean, really and truly, anything to keep the cash cow that is Grogu going.
Yeah. I know that I have total confidence in Filoni and Favreau. Whatever they give me, I'm ready for it.
Oh yeah, like that isn't even in fucking doubt at all. Like with the Mandalorian, it's that kind of show where you just kind of know you can sit back, relax, enjoy it. It's gonna be fucking awesome. With other shows like Andor, for example, like most weeks I went in like, okay, let's see what happens this week. Really enjoyed the overall series, It was a little bit slower in places, longer series, absolutely. But with Mando, it's like, oh shit, it's about to go down, and you know it's going to go down. It just doesn't.
You're like, buckle up.
It doesn't miss. It's just one of those fucking shows, man. It's like, oh, here we go. You know,
unless you're IGN and you're complaining about it being too dark.
Fucking dark. The whole fucking episode was shot in a fucking cave, pretty much. What do they want it to be?
I get what they mean, though. I really hate it when it's just a black screen and you see like one little light.
It wasn't as bad as that Game of Thrones episode.
I think the problem is inherently, right, is that there's that many different types of fucking HDR technology and different TVs.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
My combination of my Samsung old ass TV, Apple TV HDR, and Disney Plus HDR. Those three together makes for a terrible image. Like, it's really bad. I'd rather watch The Mandalorian on my computer monitor than my TV, because
I'll tell you what, like, my TV box that I get my cable through has all the apps on it, like Disney Plus, Netflix, Prime, watch it. The picture on that for like Disney Plus and that sucks.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be 4K. It's fucking not. The Fire Stick that I've got, put it on there. I don't know if it's just the TV that I have with the HDR settings or what it is with the Fire Stick, but the blacks are black.
Oh.
Like they're not like fucking like, you know, black with a hint of there's a light here. The blacks are fucking black, you know. But then I've got a gaming monitor. I can watch like Kenobi and that on there, and it's a little bit too dark, you know. So I think that's something to do with the fact that the reference monitors it's been edited on and finalized on.
Yeah.
You have 10 TVs in a fucking store.
But I hate that it has to be so technical just to make it dark. Like, just make it less dark.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I agree. But we shall see what next week brings, gentlemen.
Very excited.
Very excited. Absolutely. So thank you both for joining me once again this evening. To Jesse for hopping in while he can.
Always a pleasure.
To Tim. Elvis looking like a snack. My phone just saying.
I'm the eye candy of the stream.
To Tim and Chris, as always. Yeah. Episode 3, Wednesday.
This is the way.
This is the fucking way. And with that, I'll bid you all a very good night. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you next week. Same time.
Rachel, if you're still watching, I'll see you tomorrow.